The idea of Casa Tomada and the mural is more about having the mural take over several walls and create a dynamic relationship with the architecture as well with the imagery portrayed.
The idea making this mural was to create a mural, but at the same time it was the idea of the painting taking over the house.
The process of making the mural is very dynamic, going back and forth about what's the next step. So every next step is inspired by what's there before. It's more of a reaction to an image or to a gesture rather than a preconceived idea of what we should be making.
We start developing the idea from what we thought it was the heart of the house, from a point where everything started, and then the expansion started happening in a way, like an explosion.
The shape of the mural and how we're thinking about intervening the space is dictated by the architecture of the house itself. We're trying to find conversations between different walls and activating the mural through different entry points within the house. The idea is for the mural to be constantly changing as the viewer navigates the space. In some cases, both walls create an image. In other spaces, each mural creates its own world. That somehow, depending on where you are, both worlds collide and create something new.
We decide like reacting to each other. So it was like a communication, was like a conversation happening. I was painting something and he was responding back with other image, and after that we keep like creating or developing what was coming next.
We're constantly bouncing ideas amongst ourselves, but also bouncing ideas between the surfaces of the walls we are painting. So every day we have many conversations. Instead of being as a marathon, it's more of a series of sprints where we have a conversation, somehow something happens, there is a spark, and either Marcos or myself react to that spark. As the painting starts to develop, other relationships start to appear, but it's very intuitive. It's not planned out.
We gotta stop and see what's going on, talk to each other, make decisions of like how to keep going with the idea, kind of like an organic way of working or something.
So the fractured space of the house lends itself for a conversation. We're literally thinking about how to engage all the walls of the space into one coherent body of work. So in some cases, formal concerns take over, meaning we're thinking about line thickness, about the graphic nature of imagery, between how much water or how much rendering is involved. And in other cases, we're thinking about the imagery itself, how to bounce off, balance different kinds of imagery and narratives together. As the viewer enters the house, in a way activates the mural depending on how he decides to navigate the space. So that makes it very engaging, but also very chaotic in the way it's planned and perceived. What I feel during all these days, it's been an open conversation with Marcos, in a way, that becomes very symbiotic and very natural, if one can say.